In what way does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? In many ways, my media product challenges and conforms to the typical conventions of existing music videos. Firstly, I'm going to be looking at mise-en-scène, lighting, props, costume settings and makeup. In my media product I use lots of low-key lighting throughout my video. I decided to use low-key lighting because of my research into indie music videos. After analysing videos such as the Arctic Monkeys' Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High and Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds' Ballad of the Mighty, both of these music videos use low-key lighting. I decided to conform to the typical conventions of indie music videos because the lighting is a key feature when it comes to the identification of the video. For example, if it uses high-key lighting, it's more likely to be a pop music video and vice versa. Props is another aspect of mise-en-scène. I did not use many props in my music video, however I did use a cigarette in the first verse. This is more likely to be seen as an indie concept, however there is also a crossover into the rock genre as Kurt Cobain used to smoke on stage. I also use sunglasses, which has been used in indie rock music videos by the Arctic Monkeys' Are You Mine? This conforms to the indie rock conventions, and I use this during the chorus section. The next aspect I will be analysing is the costume. During the video filming, I made sure that I used costumes that conform to indie music videos. For example, I used jeans, Vans, Adidas shoes and t-shirts. I looked at inspiration from Oasis for this aspect, as they would often wear these kind of shoes on stage. I also took inspiration from my costume from Vampire Weekend, A Punk. Setting is also a convention that I needed to think about for my music video. I decided to use random locations for the verses and a darkened room for my chorus. For the verses I took inspiration from Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds' Ballad of the Mighty. I took inspiration from this video because of the random locations and him just walking around. However, I crossed this over with locations that I'd seen in other films, for example the woods in Inglourious Basterds and the wood scene from Shutter Island. In my video I used diegetic music for the chorus because they are playing their instruments, and non-diegetic for the verses. I decided to take inspiration for the chorus section from Oasis' Supersonic and from the video For What You Know by Two Door Cinema Club. I did this because it not only follows the conventions of typical indie music videos, it also is a typical convention of most music videos, and nearly all music videos have an element of performance based. Editing is another key process that allowed me to make my media text. For the chorus section, it is also in black and white. For this I took inspiration from the Stone Roses' I Want to Be Adored. They did not use black and white, however they did use a strong purple tint over the video. I also took inspiration for the black and white from Supersonic by Oasis. Another editing technique that I used was double exposure effect, which was where I changed the opacity on one shot and put another over it. This was to make it look like a hallucination. I took this idea from Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High by the Arctic Monkeys. I used this because it fitted with the theme of my song, and because of many of the camera shots and editing techniques fitted with this. This therefore conforms to the typical conventions of indie music videos. Camera work was another crucial feature of an indie music video. During the production stages of my video, I tried to incorporate a whole range of camera shots that both conformed and challenged the typical stereotypes of indie. One of the shots was a close-up of the band members playing their instruments. This conforms to the typical conventions of indie music videos. For example, for this I decided to take inspiration from The Strokes' Reptilia. I decided to use this camera shot because many music videos use it. Another camera shot that I used for my video that conforms to the typical conventions was a close-up with a slight Dutch tilt of my lead singer's face. This camera shot gives the impression that something is slightly wrong and also can make the audience feel uncomfortable. This fits with the theme of my song, and it also follows the conventions. I also use camera shots that challenge the normal conventions. In my music video, I decided to use a mid-shot of a drummer walking towards the camera during the first verse. This camera shot has been used in indie rock music videos, however, this is the type of camera shot that usually be used in other genres such as pop and rock music videos, and thus challenges the conventions. I also use slow motion long shots of my lead singer running across the shot. This does not conform to the typical conventions as slow motion would usually feature in hip hop or pop music videos.